Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report on Better Yourself, Part 6. Go over football first, though. The Kansas City Chiefs have now decided to franchise tag Chris Jones. Should they have not? Well, leading into many articles and many sports stories, they said they should have franchise tagged Snead. He is younger, and he's about at the prime part of his career at about 27.6. It's about the prime start of his career, and that's when he will turn next season. So many people thought that they should have tagged Snead. We'll get more on that either tomorrow or Tuesday. No long-term deals with either one of them, I imagine. The only one they get a long-term deal done with for right now is Snead, and if they would work it out later on with Chris Jones. I doubt they will, though. This will be their decision, I think. I am glad, though, we didn't see Jones sign to a long-term deal. Even L'Jarius Snead would probably have been a mistake. As far as I'm willing to go, a 2-year option with L'Jarius Snead may be a way to go, but it also may be a way to not go, is to sign him to a long-term deal. I want to listen into more of that in their analysis on that. The decision was made on Chris Jones. Would somebody have overpaid? Maybe. Did we overpay? Maybe. But we just have him for 1 year. Could L'Jarius Snead sign with the Eagles? That's possible. That's where his projection was. Snead's article passed by, and I read a bit of it. And there's many other places I'm sure he projected to go by many other articles and many other writers. Today, though, we go over better ourselves. I know how we get in the world of technology. Let's listen into that right now.
And I do think that a lot of the people that I see with addiction and other forms of mental illness are people who need more friction. Like they're unhappy, not necessarily because there's something wrong with their brain, but because their brain is not suited to this world. What's so pervasive in our narrative now is like, find your passion, and in a way that's good because it has people out in the world and seeking. But in a way, it can also be misleading in the sense that I think people aren't entirely aware that the world is a hard place and that life is hard and that like we're all kind of making it up. To me, one of the most significant findings in neuroscience in the last 75 years is that pleasure and pain are co-located, which means the same parts of the brain that process pleasure also process pain. And they work like a balance. So when we feel pleasure, our balance tips one way. When we feel pain, it tips in the opposite direction. And one of the overriding rules governing this balance is that it wants to stay level. So it doesn't want to remain tipped very long to pleasure or to pain. And with any deviation from neutrality, the brain will work very hard to restore a level balance, or what scientists call homeostasis. And the way the brain does that is with any stimulus to one side, there will be a tip in equal and opposite amount to the other side.
It's like the principal laws of physics.
Yes, right, yeah. Right. So like I like to watch YouTube videos. When I watch YouTube videos of American Idol, it tips to the side of pleasure. And then when I stop watching it, I have a come down, right, which is a tip to the equal and opposite amount on the other side. And that's that moment of wanting to watch one more YouTube video. And here's really the key. If I keep indulging again and again and again, ultimately, I have so much on the pain side, right, that I've essentially reset my brain to what we call like an anhedonic or lacking in joy type of state, which is a dopamine deficit state. The way in which pain can become the main driver is because I've indulged so much in these high reward behaviors or substances that my brain has had to compensate by way down regulating my own dopamine, such that even when I'm not doing that drug, I'm in a dopamine deficit state, which is akin to a clinical depression. I have anxiety, irritability, insomnia, dysphoria, and a lot of mental preoccupation with using again or getting the drug. And so that's the piece there. There's the single use, which easily passes, but it's the chronic use that can then reset really our dopamine thresholds, and then nothing is enjoyable. So I think that is really what I want people to tune into and get an awareness around, because once you tune into it, you can see it a lot. And then when you begin to see it, I think it gives people kind of a way to imagine what they're experiencing on a neurobiological level and understand it. And in that understanding, get some mastery over it, which is really what this is all about.
I know that might be a little weird of recording, but I think that was the best way we could do it. I'll figure it out and maybe edit it and put it in there. One step at a time. Researching your goal is about intermingle progress if your goal. But here we go. How to break down goals. What did it you choose to close your goal, whether it's promotion at work or get in shape or finish that home improvement project. Big goals are very accomplished in one effort. It takes a lot of small steps to reach them. Let's break it down by one step and a step. Reaching your goal is increments of if your goal is easy, everyone in the world will be able to do it. But they are not. Goals are a lot of concentrated effort over long periods of time. Sound daunting. However, progress always helps to break it down one step, and one step will make it easier. Stepping forward, what it takes to get things moving. Effort brings action, leads to momentum, and before you know it, your goal closer to being realized. Don't underestimate the power of one step. Small steps can be revealed in more than one step. Other hidden things that to be done. Opportunities show that themselves that people underestimate what is taking to get there because have not discovered all the requirements yet. Stepping forward helps reveal the path to success. Here are just a few small steps you can take to move forward. Number 1, make a list of required materials for that project has to be started. Number 2, learn one thing that you will advance your career. 3, complete your other tasks before you're leaving your office. 4, do your workout that you're going to skip. 5, make extra efforts to reach out to a person or trying to build relationships with. 6, do not procrastinate. If you are serious about what you want to improve on, now is the time. I'd start 10 plus minutes before doing a meditation, focusing on concentrating. What do you want to achieve? Take baby steps and break down goals into little things you can do every day. What's one thing you can do? Is something you need to move closer to your goal. Pick something that you have meaning to you but has not made your daily list yet. Maybe it's a smaller task of a big project. Do it today and step closer to your goal. More steps to get away from phone. As you see them talk about technology in this article or in this story. Steps away to put the phone away. Put the phone away, at least for once a day while you're doing something else, even if you're playing a video game. I know many of us use phones for workouts, so put the phone away when you're not using it. It will be good for you, a good test for you. Put the phone away for 30 minutes to an hour. Do not touch it at all. Whoa, an hour? That's Sam Vaughn Sports on mental health and getting better. Now we move on to college basketball. College basketball. Jayhawks jump into the win column after a good win in Norman by 10, 67-57. Hunter Dickinson finishes with 20. Kevin McCullough wasn't his general self after coming back from an injury. He had 10, went 4 of 12, still recovering. It looks like the game stayed close throughout pretty much the whole game. OU did extend the lead to 10, and then KU got down to 5. KU would finally grab the lead at 49-46, and the last 8 minutes would take over. Final score was KU 67, OU 57. Kansas State loses to TCU 75-72. Kansas State drops to 5-7 and is still looking for that 500 record. They will have a tough task on Monday as they travel to Texas. Texas is 16-9. Kansas State is 15-10. Texas is 5-7. The Cats are 5-7. Game time for the Cats in Texas is at 8 o'clock Monday. Also in the SEC, this is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report.